What's up, everybody? This is the Vagabond again, and welcome to episode 2 of Kingdom Come Deliverance. So, we're supposed to be looking for a person called Riki. Seems to be a shady character, and we are instructed by Sir Robert to find him. And he somehow has information about the massacre in Neuhof. Before we do that, I wanted to show you guys some of the UI elements in the game and how the game functions, and objectives, quest markers, inventory, and things like that. Before we do that, actually, you can already notice in the top left corner of the screen 40 FPS, so not looking that promising, although it does look pretty, I'll give it that. Only when it doesn't freeze, that is. And this happens quite a bit. But there is a lot of texture popping and just overall low FPS. Probably a result of bad optimization. But we're not going to complain about that too much because it is what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure the developers are working on a fix for this. So what we are going to do is take a look at the map first. If you press M, you get a look at your map. Now, we are currently in Talmberg, and you're able to put map markers to where you want to go. Now, once you put the marker, you can see you do not get a path to it, but what you do get is on your compass. If you take notice, there is a little X marker with a yellow shield, and this is your custom marker. You will also see another marker with the red and white checkered shield, and that's your quest marker. But you can put custom markers and they show like that on the screen. We are going to put a marker right here so I can show you where that exactly is. That's those tents there. So the map actually mirrors the world quite well. It has roads, which you can use to travel between different towns, I'm assuming. And overall, it looks pretty interesting and looks pretty big. Now, I'm assuming these things are just locked or undiscovered. Once you discover this town, this map would open up and the fog would lift. But we shall see how that works. Okay, that's the map. Next thing we're going to take a look is the inventory system. So you press I and you get into the inventory menu. Now we're going to go over these one by one and take a look at what they do individually. So first of all, inventory. Go into weapons. You have... So I have a bastard sword, a shield, a short sword, and a torch. It would be nice if these icons here would have a little tooltip that appears that kind of tells the user what this icon is, but we can use our own logical thinking skills and find out what they are. Right, so this probably means what is equipped, which you can see here. Now I have a short sword equipped. What I can do is equip a bastard sword, and this changes. So I've equipped a bastard sword and a shield. Can I equip two swords? I can get rid of the shield. Doesn't matter. So we'll keep a bastard sword and a shield. We can also equip a torch. Does that also fall in the sword? Oh, that falls in the shield category. Okay, that makes sense. So that is what you have equipped. This icon is your count, so I have one of each, so that's why maybe there's nothing here. This is your attack rating, it seems. So this one has 3.5 attack rating, this one has 2.8, and the torch has 2. Shield has 1. The heart icon is the health. Now, I'm assuming it's the health or the durability of these items. So they're all at 100% because I haven't used them. This is your weight, so what the item weight is. Now this weighs 1.5 units, 5 units, and so on and so forth. Now if you want to take a look at the total inventory weight or total carry weight for your character, right now it is at 72, and I am carrying 31.4. The next icon seems to be some kind of currency or gold. Alright, let's take a look at armor. I have a brown hood equipped, brown hose, leather boots, linen shirt, and white gambeson. Now these come default. I haven't changed anything. I've just gotten into the game from the cutscene. Again, you have count. Now this in the weapon section, this was the attack rating. In the armor section, this is your defense. So 0.2, 0.1, 0.1, and obviously your gambeson, which has the highest weight, is 1.3 defense. And then you have your durability, all 100 weight, and the last section is how much they cost. So if you were to sell them, this would net you £6 or $6 or 6 gold. Take a look at food, same thing. Restores 20 stamina, I'm assuming. Restores 96 health. Weighs 1 unit and sells for 0.2. Right. Don't have any quest items. I have other items which are 10 bandages, lockpick, and money. Okay, yeah, so money is 40. Right, okay. Let's take a look at player. Quite a significant amount of options here, which you would expect from an RPG game. So I did mention that we were going to start at midway through the game, so we are at level 12. Now, I'm assuming they have distributed 12 skill points evenly across this squire character to make him a pure combat person, or at least a pure melee combat character. So I have 10 strength, I have 18 strength, 10 agility, 10 vitality, 5 speech, and 3 charisma. I am not sure exactly what these do. I mean, they're pretty straightforward or pretty self-explanatory, but still, how they apply into the game. And if you click Y, you get some more info on what these stats actually do. So this one determines how much you can carry, and basic strength. Agility is probably your dexterity and stamina. Vitality is your vigor and how much health you have. It directly affects how quickly you lose and regain your health. Okay, that's interesting. Speech is obviously your speech skill, like in Skyrim, I'm assuming, which lets you pass speech checks in the game and get information that you couldn't get otherwise from charming NPCs. Charisma is the measure of how you can impress people. Right, interesting. So the charisma stat, you don't seem to have to put any points into it, but what you do have to do is wear fancy clothes and ornaments, which are these slots here. So you can have some fancy things on top of what you're wearing as protection to give you a little bit of extra bling, and people like you for that, I'm assuming. Visibility, conspicuousness. Okay, continue down. Noise, speed. And then you have your character state. So I'm 100% healthy. I have 108% stamina because I'm at rest, I'm assuming. I am 95% rested and 95% not hungry. Right, okay. Combat skills. So this is how you train your character to use certain weapons. Bow is 8, shield is 3, and sword is 10. Right, pretty extensive. I like it so far. You have alchemy skills, defense, fencing, horse riding, and lockpicking. Alchemy, that's interesting. Maybe there's poison in the game. Brewing potions easier. The time order requirements are more relaxed and you attempt to brew more complicated concoctions. Okay, so alchemy like Skyrim, it seems. I do not have any buffs, but I do have some reputation if I do show more. So Talmberg villagers have 50 reputation for me, and Talmberg soldiers have 35. I'm assuming you have to do things for them to gain reputation, help them in some way. Interesting, very nice. Next thing is horse, so I can put things into the storage of my horse, which is very nice, so I don't have to carry things all around on me and burden myself, or at least overburden myself, which is very nice. I can totally pimp out my horse with interesting equipment. So these are your standard equipment sets, and these are your ornaments or jewelries or your bling kind of equipment that gives you a little bit more charisma. And then you have stats for your horse, I'm assuming. Alright, so horse seems to be perfectly healthy, has 110 stamina. Good to know. Right. Next up we have quest book, or our journal, and I have 2 quests. So I have On the Scent, which is track down Riki, which is our main quest, I also have On Guard. Now, I am not sure how I got this. But so I'd better go to Merhojed, military encampment. They should teach me something. Right, so this is your introductory kind of like melee combat training, I'm assuming, which you would have to do before going on to your on-scent mission to find Riki, just in case you get into some combat. So we're going to untrack that, and we're going to track this quest, and that's where we will be going next. And I already showed you the map. There is no fast travel available, and you have a crafting option, which is disabled. Alright, you can also seem to be able to skip time, and it does not seem like you have to be at a tavern or an inn or some kind of an indoors resting place for you to be able to rest. You can just perfectly stand here and rest for 13 hours. Makes perfect sense, right? Alright, let's get to it. One of the things about RPG games, or one of the most important things about RPG games, is that NPCs have to be interesting. You have to be able to get information from NPCs, they have to be interactable, and they have to be interesting in some way. Now, as far as the game NPCs go, I mean, you see a few people here and there, but it's not as populated as you would like it to be. But we are going to go and talk to some of these people and see what kind of dialogue they have to offer. Maybe they have some information about Riki. Maybe they have some comments about Talmberg or something. Whatever information they have or whatever they have to say, we're going to find out what that is. If I stop running into the fence, that is, with my horse. The horse controls are really clunky, and it's kind of really hard to get used to this, because every time you stop, he turns right for some reason. But we're going to talk to this nice gentleman here and see what kind of information he has. Hello, sir. Okay, so we can ask him about Talmberg, or we can ask him about Riki. Let's ask him about Talmberg, see what he says.
Tell me something about Talmberg.
I am definitely hearing you perfectly. Right, so we have found another issue, and I'm pretty sure this is well known, is that some of the voice options or some of the dialogue options haven't been added, so they're not voiced out and lip-synced properly. Let's see if the first option actually works. So, do you know Riki?
Listen, I'm looking for a fellow they call Riki. Do you know him?
Riki? You mean Hinek, the courier's son?
Yes, maybe. Do you know where I might find him?
He's not usually around here. Try asking at his home. But be warned, the old courier is as crabby as they come.
Alright, so that was voiced and lip-synced, and he gave us some information. Can you tell me something about Riki? Yeah, I would like to know more about him.
You know this Hinek. Can you tell me something about him?
He's a bastard.
Oh yeah? In what way?
He's a scoundrel who keeps company with all sorts and gets up to devilry. Folk don't talk to him much.
What can you tell me about the old courier?
The apple never falls far from the tree. Hinek's a scoundrel, and his father's a grouchy old bastard.
Right, this guy doesn't seem to like them at all. Why do they call him Riki? Now, I'm assuming he said it's a tanner's son, so he's a tanner. That would explain, at least, why he's called Riki, because he stinks.
Why do they call Hinek Riki, anyway?
Have you ever been in a tanning shop? If not, go there and you'll see for yourself. On the other hand, it might have something to do with his reputation, too.
Okay. So I understand the tanner part of it, but what about his reputation?
Why has he got such a bad name?
Most of the neighbours stay well clear of him, because he goes around with the wrong people. A dubious pack they are. I wouldn't wonder if they were thieves or even murderers.
There's gotta be someone.
Don't tell me no one at all talks to him.
There's one bathhouse wench talks to him. A filthy harlot, of course. Who else?
And what's this harlot's name?
Adela, I think.
Okay, so we're gonna... Already 10 minutes into the game, and we're talking to a filthy harlot. Maybe it's just like a time period thing. Okay, so any more quest objectives? Let me see if it gave me anything for this harlot. Let's track this for now and see what it says. I do have a marker, and it's not transparent, means that this person must be nearby. Okay, yeah, it's right there. Alright. Is she in here? Right. It's gotta be her. Ask him about Riki, I guess.
I heard you've been seeing Hinnock the Tanner.
So what? Come to preach to me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner? That I seduce decent men, huh?
I mean, honestly, I don't really care, lady.
Look, I don't care what you do. That's your affair. I just want to ask about something.
I'm glad to hear it. Some folk don't care for the way I make a living.
I can imagine.
So, what about you then? You look a bit careworn. A bath with a bit of company might do you good.
Oh. Oh, yes. I will see you later for that.
Maybe later, sweetheart. Right now, I have some questions to ask.
Ask away.
She is a filthy little harlot. Alright, so where is he?
Where can I find Hinnock?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
Seems like she's withholding some information. Now, as you can see, the icons here means like you have to have some amount of skill points invested into speech to pass these. Now, we're going to try it anyway and see what happens. Obviously, I'm assuming we're going to fail, but let's see.
Look here. I'm a friend of Hinnock's and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he is.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
I really don't know what you want from me. So Hinnock is a bit odd, and sometimes he goes off into the woods.
Alright, let's try that again.
He goes to the woods from time to time. That smells fishy.
What do you mean? There's no law against it, is there?
With all the footpads, pillagers, humans, and God knows what kind of vermin around, I'd say that's pretty suspicious.
But Hinnock certainly has nothing to do with those people.
Then what does he do there? I don't expect he's gathering mushrooms.
I really don't know what you want from me. So Hinnock is a bit odd, and sometimes he goes off into the woods.
Alright, so I don't think we're going to pass that. As you might have seen on the screen, we got a persuasion failed. So that's it, lady. And I will see you for that bath later, yeah? The one you promised me, don't forget. Right, so we did get some information. Now, one thing I haven't gone over is the little orange bar in the bottom of the screen. So the yellow bar in the middle is your stamina. The orange bar outside of it is your health. And then the green bar under it with the horse icon is obviously your horse's stamina. Now what we're going to do is follow along. Let me disable that Riki quest for now. And we're going to go to this On Guard quest and learn some basic combat skills and get some view of the scenery along the way. A lot of texture popping. So I'm assuming right now, since we have the quest for Riki, all the NPCs in the game, we get that option to ask them about Riki. I thought they would have a little bit more interesting dialogue choices, but hey, maybe in the final game. Maybe they're working on it. I actually haven't checked on the progress of the game, so I would have no idea. But we'll go this way. I should just go on a standard gallop so you can probably take the scenery in and see what the game looks like. Now the horse controls honestly are quite bothersome. I would encourage you to use a controller at least for the horse riding part of this, and then if you so please, you can choose keyboard for the rest of it. Alright, I'm going to talk to this NPC because he does look very interesting. He or she or whatever that is. Hello sir, do you have a minute? Seems like you can't talk to random wandering NPCs, because that did not give me an option there. I don't know, looked like an interesting guy. I would have really liked to talk to him. Anyways, we'll continue. Now, I've never been to Europe, so... I mean, this is set in 1403, but still, I would like to know if any of this resembles any outskirts areas in Europe. Anywhere. France, maybe. Germany. Something like this. Little towns in the distance, little villages. Farms. Cows. I don't know. Looks pretty, though. But I think CryEngine can still do a little bit better. I'm pretty sure the devs would work this in the game to optimize it and make it look even prettier. But the most important thing so far is to just get the core mechanics of the game working, fix the dialogue issues here and there, and this should be a good beta. Right now, I gotta be honest with you, it feels like an alpha to me. But we shall see. Like I said in my introduction of the prologue video, apart from the actual RPG elements, which seem to be decent so far, there is also an in-depth combat system in the game, which I guess we're going to get a taste of soon. And we shall try that out and see what it's like. So I have discovered a new town. Now, okay, let's check our map real soon. Okay, so this area it's lifted the fog from it, so we have discovered it. Really interesting. It's like Age of Empires. Alright, so we have discovered the town we were supposed to go to. The captain of the military barracks should be here, and he should be able to teach us some basic sword fighting skills, I'm guessing. Get used to the combat system in the game. You are able to ride your horse through towns, and nobody seems to care, or at least complain about it, which is not too bad. Seems like there's some NPCs going about their business. Seems like those people were like going fishing or something. Very nice. Just random ass drunken woman. She looked drunken from a distance, but didn't realize up until the textures popped in that she was carrying a bucket. Seems like there's some mountains in the distance. Now, every time I move my mouse, after a few seconds, it auto-centers it. I'm pretty sure there's an option to disable this, which I'll take a look at before doing any more horse riding in this game. Alright, this does seem to be like a military encampment. I see a lot of soldiers parading around. They have shields and such. And my icon marker is somewhere around there. Somebody's cooking some stuff here in a little cast iron pot. So what we're going to do is have our first encounter with somebody and find out if they can teach us something. Seems like it's that guy there. Alright, let's learn some combat in this game.